It's away from the Chicago Sky tipping off against the Los Angeles Sparks in LA. We're going to talk about it, break it all down, have some fun. But first, we got to play that intro.
Welcome to Chicago Sky Central, and here's your host, Haize.
What's going on, Sky fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Sky Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Sky related. I'm one of the hosts here, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chicago Sky Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. Let's go ahead and get into the shits for today, man. This is a game that I'm really excited for. Not just because the Sky are on paper a better team than the Los Angeles Sparks, but because Kennedy Carter's coming back, right? I guess that probably should bury the lead. Kennedy Carter is confirmed to be available for today's game. Now, they didn't say she's going to return to the starting lineup or not. I haven't checked Twitter to see if they've announced the starting lineups yet either. But Kennedy Carter should be available today. We're going to need it. Looks like they just tweeted something out today that she's questionable with a non-COVID injury. I guess we'll see what happens there. But this is a team with this guy that got to be prepared for the Los Angeles Sparks. We've talked about it before. This is not a team that you can take lightly at all. You cannot take any team lightly. And if you're the Chicago Bulls, there's not a single team, I don't care what their record is, that you can take lightly when you're facing off against them over these final 15 games. You have to be prepared. You have to be locked in. You got to come to every game like you're ready to kind of to win a title. Like that's how you have to come into it when it's all said and done. And hopefully this Sky team can do this, man. And you don't want to overlook anything with this game tonight. You got to be sound defensively. This is a Los Angeles Sparks team that is not going to take it easy on you. They're not going to take it easy. Or De'Erica Hamby is an absolute dog. Period. She's a dog, and there's no questions to be asked about that. And if you allow her to get into a rhythm, she could single-handedly win a game for the Los Angeles Sparks. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but when you have a player that's leading them in points, leading them in rebounds, leading them in steals, what does that mean? That means she can finish, she can start a break around the break, and she can get extra possessions for her team. That's all coming from one person. One. And so that's not even to mention how Azra Stevens has come on for this team. Since she came in here starting 4 games for them so far, right? I think she is healthy in this game, and of course, Rakia Jackson, like she's coming on later, stronger than what she even did starting off the season. This is not a team that you can take lightly. I don't care that they've only won 6 games on the season. You cannot take this team lightly, and if you do, you can find yourself on the wrong side of shit, and that's not what you want to see. So, if the Sky want to solidify this playoff run that they're gearing up for and trying to go on, these are the type of games that you have to win. You cannot disappoint against a team like the LA Sparks or any team for that matter, right? Now, if the Sparks just get hot from the field or whatever else, then it is what it is. But you have to be locked in defensively and offensively. We cannot have the lack of execution that we had defensively in the last game. We just can't have that. And if that is what it ends up being, it's going to be a long night for the Sky. And so hopefully the Sky are prepared for that. Teresa Weatherspoon needs to have these ladies ready. And now that you have Kennedy Carter back in this game, hopefully, is that you're getting, of course, that huge scoring punch and liftoff that you need. And you just need to kind of figure out the balance, right? We're a very small team. I think sometimes people don't realize how small we are because we are a very small team, especially at that guard position. So on top of already having guards that don't necessarily identify how to get the ball to the bigs the best, right? We're a small team. And so when you're facing up against some of the bigger guards in the league, you can get exposed in that way. And our guards don't necessarily play the best defense consistently either. So that's something that you want to see for this team and just see it continue, man. And hopefully they can get on the right page because this is a game that I want this guy to get a win in. You need to get a win tonight against the Sparks team. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You need a win tonight. And so let's hope that happens. I'm looking for Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso to really be those big bodies in the paint. We need to have between the two of them, honestly, between Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso, there's no reason we shouldn't have 19 to 20 rebounds per game. There's just no reason to that, especially when you look at Angel Reese getting about 11 of them herself, right? You need to get that. That's going to be something that can help separate you in games. Again, that's getting extra possessions. That's taking the ball out of the other team's hand. That's potentially getting you out on the fast break as well if it's defensive rebounding. We need all those things to be in synergy for the Sky team to be what we know that they can be. And let's hope that we get that today. Because if we don't, it's going to be a long, ugly night. And I'm tired. I don't know about you, but that last game completely ruined my appetite for long days for the Chicago Sky. I'm over it. I'm tired of. I don't want to see no more shit like we saw last game. That shit frustrated the holy hell out of me, and I'm not even going front on it. That frustrated the shit out of me, and I don't want to see that shit again. What's going on here? Hold on, y'all. I may have to pop out real quick. I don't know what the hell's going on with my computer. Give me 1 second. Let me just re-jump the software and I'll be right back. Sorry about that, y'all. It wouldn't let me see the chat for a second. I don't know what that was about, but we back. We back. Still waiting on Stevo to hop on. Stevo should be here in a second. But let's see how you guys are feeling about this game. Bulls Daily says, let's get it. You know how I feel about that already. What's good, Haize? What's going on, Ty? Glad to have you in the building. Bulls Daily says, everybody please close the chat and hit the like button. We got Anita Davis in the building. Also says hit that like button. What's going on, y'all? Glad to have y'all in the building. The Sparks signed Odyssey Sims to a 7-day contract. Shout out to Odyssey Sims in the Chicago and in the Los Angeles Sparks. Dana or Michaela has to stay on Odyssey tonight. She's probably about to show out as usual to get a spot somewhere. We'll see. We'll see. Ruin my whole night. Seriously, listen. I get so frustrated about my Chicago teams losing, man. It's honestly ridiculous. You think I'd be used to it as somebody who's been a Bears fan and a Bulls fan and a damn Sox fan most of my life, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Do you know what the starting five is? They haven't released it yet. I mean, I would expect it if Kennedy's healthy for it to be Kennedy back in that starting lineup with Michaela Oniwerde being the three, but I guess we'll see on that one. Rebound, points in the paint, and defense is Sky Ball. They need to stick to that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's go, Sky from Immortal Beast. Dana better do her big one. That's funny. I mean, listen, Dana played really good last night. And I saw some people in the post-game show that were like, Dana didn't play good. And I'm like, I don't know who y'all were watching. Like, y'all know I'm quick to critique and give criticism. So if I thought Dana played like crap, I would say, but to me, last game, Dana was one of the reasons we were able to keep that game as close. And we got the lead down to like 12 or 13 at one point in that, in large part because of the defense that Dana Evans was playing and how she was playing on offense as well. I hope the chemistry clicks this time. I mean, it could take a while, right, Mia? Like, of course, I hope that you don't want to see a long period of time where it takes the chemistry to start clicking. But I think sometimes we can take for granted just how much really goes into incorporating new players. And so, it could be a long go. I'm not saying that it will be for sure, but it could be a long go before we really see this team kind of looking like it's really clicking. But hopefully that doesn't take as long. What's going on, Steve?
What's the wizard?
What you feeling about this game, brother?
Can't take it lightly. Like I said last game, this is still a talented squad. Yeah, they not the best team in the league, but they got some veterans and they got some young players on this team that we got to watch out for. Rikita Jackson, everybody knows what she's bringing to the table. She's only going to get better. And they have a ton of other players on this team that we got to watch out for. So we just got to clean up. It got to be a way more cleaner game. Like I said, I hope they got a good practice in yesterday because that last game just – from an execution wise was just terrible. It was just bad. And as a team, we just didn't play good. So hopefully we can play good, we can play better, get right back into focus. And this definitely can be a game to get us back into the motion we was before we get into the break.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's what you want to see from this team is the ability to execute, to play well as a team. Like the sum of the parts are always going to have to outweigh the individual with a team like this. And we saw ourselves do that at times during the season. Now we're just going to incorporate some new pieces and keep it going. I'm excited to see what it looks like with Kennedy and Michaela out there together if Kennedy does play, because I think that's a nice kind of balance. And I think Michaela can benefit a lot from the drives that Kennedy Carter
Yeah.
creates, and her to be able to get an open lane, either follow up the driver or shoot a midi or even a 3-point shot. So I'm excited to see those two players kind of get on the same page as well.
Yeah. And definitely got to be on the boards better than we was last game. We going to get Derrick Hamby, who's known to get rebounds. Ray Burrell is out there hooping as well. So yeah, it just got to be a cleaner game. It has to be a cleaner game. I do think, hopefully, Kennedy is playing like you said. It will bring a sense of way better spacing, I would say, especially when you Michaela's not going to always have to cut as much because Kennedy's going to be the one to penetrate the hole, and it's going to leave her open for those kickouts, and that's what she's been doing. And she didn't get enough of that last game, so I think that's a big thing. And we just need other players to step up, play better. Like I said, I'm sure we're gonna see some diamond today. So hopefully she realized and watch some tape and realize how good she is attacking the basket. Stop looking for the shot.
Yeah, man. We got Diamond. If Diamond DeShields wakes up some for the Sky team off the bench, and you have her and Dana playing solidly, like we know they both can, that adds a whole another dynamic. Now with 15 games left, I'm not even going to front. I'm not too overly too optimistic to get it this season. But I would love to be wrong about that.
And I think it can be. It's just as simple as just do what you're good at. I think that has to be taught. I think the opposite is being said. Like they're trying to bring out that old Diamond. Sometimes you just got to realize the player they are now, and the player that she is now. She just needs to attack the basket and play the best defense she can as possible. Because at that point, that's what she's doing. So I need coach to get into her ear and realize your best self is when you're attacking the basket.
Yeah, that's a fact. How hopeful are you that Diamond DeShield turns it around over these last 15 games?
I'm not hopeful at all. Because I'm just being honest, like, and it's really because I think we have a coach that's just is going to just speaking life into it. I think she just likes to speak life into her players and feel like the more she encourages them, the more she reminds them of what they used to be or what they can be, they going to get it out of them. But as we've seen, we got 15, 14 games left, and she's been doing the same thing since game one. So I would be crazy to think she's just going to randomly just figure it out. But I do think figuring out is not as difficult or it's not as out the way as some people may think.
Yeah, I mean, I just would like to see just once pick one side of the ball to be consistent on. She hasn't been consistent offensively or defensively. I could take either one because that could help the Sky team a lot as well.
Yep.
And then we just got to see how that continues, man. You know what? This weird. Like, first of all, Izzy only comes in here to say dumb shit. Like, she'll complain when streams are 15 minutes. Oh, y'all need to be on Twitter more. But yet she's in here every single stream. And Izzy is exactly who we said she is. She just hasn't been 100%. How you feel about Izzy's play, brother?
She's just been doing what she's been doing. She's been consistently her. She's getting us around the same type of minutes, so we don't think her minutes is going to vary or nothing. But I mean, of course, I like her to be a little bit more consistent on the scoring wise because we all know that's our best attribute. But at the end of the day, you just gotta hope she do. Like at the end of the day, I really think that ACL did take a little bit from her game. Like she's not as bouncy as she used to be. She's a little bit like she's a little not clumsy, but she just don't have the same type of body that she had before, and that usually what happens when you go through a devastating ACL injury. So yeah, I just don't think she's what she used to be. But if she's consistent, she can have good games and she can put us in good position, especially when she comes into the game.
I think also the thing with Izzy is too, and I'm not blaming it all on this, but even with, as you said, everything you said is right as far as Izzy changing, her body changing, her athleticism changing a little bit, but we just don't have good point guard play. Like if we had better point guard play, I think a lot of things would look more seamless for the Chicago Sky team. But because our point guard play has been absolutely just abysmal for the most part, like we've had flashes of it, but yeah, it's been bad, and so it comes down to, at some point, like some things just catch up with you. You can't overcome everything. And I think that this type of team, Where they are right now, Angel Reese isn't doing point forward stuff, and that's perfectly fine. Like even with Kennedy, like everybody could benefit from a true point guard out there that can distribute the ball, run the offense, and if they can shoot the three consistently as well, that would help, of course, a lot too, with the ability to drive and how Angel and Camilla are going to get rebounds. So that has to be the focus for me, at least, of what I want to see this front office focus on is getting that point guard for this team.
Yeah, most definitely, and that's the reason why a lot of our sets be so sloppy. That's why those times when we're not scoring, it looks ugly because we don't have a point guard. Like it's a difference between not scoring and you just struggling to get the shot. We're struggling just to get the play going, and that's just credit to, like you said, it's just we're not getting the best guard play that we should be getting, and we kind of knew that going in. We traded all our guards or we moved on for all our guards. Vandersloot is in New York. So, yeah, we just going to have to really look at the options that have in next year's. First let the year goes because who knows what these point guards are going to do in this next NCAA season. But that's got to be your number one option when it comes to fixing this team immediately. Yeah. And it's going to take a couple people. It's going to take a couple moves. It's going to take a lot more moves, but point guard got to be number one.
I agree. Yeah, point guard has to be addressed. I don't think there's any other way around it. Like you have to address the point guard play and the point guard situation. It's in such a place right now that it's like we're not seeing the best offense. We're not seeing the best out of these players because listen, you can't. I get it. Some people look at it and say, "Well, you're this player. You got to go out and do that." But it's how everything fits together. That I know that Teresa Weatherspoon hoped that Dana Evans was going to turn into that point guard for her. She did not, and that's fine. You need to go out and get your point guard. You have to get your point guard.
Something like that.
You got 2 first-round picks in the next 2 drafts, but I honestly don't even want to wait until potentially the 2026 NBA draft. You got to get this one. You got to get a point guard in there now. So
yeah, it's gonna be more the same thing next year if you don't. It's gonna be trying to turn chicken shit into chicken salad for the most part.
Yeah, that's a fact. And so, that, and then of course, more shooting overall. This team definitely needs some more shooting. But we'll talk about that as we get close. We got these 15 games. Steve, I asked you what your confidence level is as far as like Diamond turning it around. What's your confidence level with this Sky team making the playoffs this year?
It's about at like a 35-40%. Okay. And it's just because like you said, I'm one of both of us was like once Marina was gone, I'm like, okay, that's a big portion of it's going to be very, very difficult to stay competitive and win the end of these games because we got a tough. This ain't easy going up. Like you said, after this, we got some tough games ahead. So I said it's about at 35-40%, and unless they make some moves, which I doubt they do.
Yeah. That's a fact. Something that we have not talked about, which I know as we get to the offseason, we'll go into a little bit more detail about this right now. Who are you protecting in the expansion draft right now, Stevo?
Kennedy.
Well, what? Okay, what? Nobody else but Kennedy?
I mean, the only people that I've been
able to protect about 5 or 6 players, just to kind of throw that out there.
But to be honest, there's only 4 people I see be on this team anyway.
That's true.
So that's my thing. Like, our 2 Rickies ain't going nowhere. I think we gonna try our damnness to keep Kennedy, and everybody else pretty much up for grabs.
Yeah, let me pull up. Let's see who all we do have under contract because that is something that definitely plays a part into that as well. So for the 2025 season, Diamond DeShield is an unrestricted free agent. Mariah Jefferson is technically under contract. Bantam's under contract. Lindsey Allen's under contract. Dana's restricted. Kennedy's restricted. Thank God Kennedy's restricted. Michaela Onyewereday's restricted. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Michaela, Kennedy, Angel, Camilla. That's pretty much everybody I want. So, and they restricted. So everybody else, it is what it is. Like besides, Kennedy was the main ones, but because she's restricted, we could.
Yeah, that's Well, shout out to that.
So it's almost like we kind of dodged the bullet with that. The main people outside of our rookies was Michaela and Kennedy, and they both restricted. So
exactly.
yeah, everybody. I mean, maybe Izzy. Maybe if you feel like you want to keep her along, like maybe you don't feel like the progression, or you don't know what's the future going to hold for E Will. I don't know. So maybe you want to keep Izzy there. But besides that, I think everybody else out of there regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, well, besides Rachel and Moke, who's on contract.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Izzy, you don't know what criticism is? Like bitching about, oh, I'm getting tired of these 15-minute streams, and then still being in here is not criticism, you dumb fuck. And you can't even have I say good comments. That's the way that they taught you how to say that is I say good comments. You're an idiot. You just proved my point. And you're paying me to read your idiocracy.
That gotta be a CPS education.
Hey, bro, I'm telling you, No Child Left Behind saved a lot of people, bro. Like, that's crazy, man. What about Elizabeth Williams? Elizabeth Williams is also Twyla, an unrestricted free agent next year. So take that for what you will.
She's getting up in age. Meniscus tear. It's just like I'm not trying to. 100%.
As much as I love E Will, a meniscus tear could be serious, especially for a player that is already older like Elizabeth Williams. But I'd say this: if you get a clean bill of health, I wouldn't mind E Will still being that third big for us, man. Like, I just think you kind of need that. So
yeah, you do.
Now, if you can go out and get another big that's either younger, that doesn't have injury concerns, then as much as I love E Will, you got to make the best decision for your team, because while this year we knew was a rebuilding year, I think now we've seen enough from the players that we have here to say, all right, no, we're going to be aiming for the playoffs, especially with us we got 2 first-round picks in 2025, 2 first-round picks in 2026. So
yeah. All right. Like I said, E Will is just I wanna see once she's fully cleared and we evaluate her.
Somebody's saying that Kennedy's out. Let me go check to see if that's
Are you fucking kidding
been made
me?
official.
The hell she's sick with? Shit.
I don't see anything on the Sky's Twitter. It doesn't mean that it's not legit. That's usually where I try to get stuff like that from. But hey, leave CPS out of this. I mean, no, listen. See, come on now. We got to be real about CPS.
Yeah,
we got to be real about CPS.
As soon as I have a kid, I'm moving. That's all I need to tell y'all.
Listen, you get people like Izzy when you send your kids to CPS. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But let's just be clear
Yeah.
here.
I do good comments.
I say good comments.
I say good comments.
Oh my Jesus, bro. That's crazy.
I don't see nothing about Kennedy.
Hakeem, so they said it's listed as non-COVID related illness. Yeah, I don't see anything about it. They said the WNBA has her out, but it's been wrong before. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
I thought Spoon confirmed it earlier that say that she's available. So we'll see what happens there. I'm trying to wait to see the starting lineup if it gets officially announced before we end the stream. Usually it's out by now. We're like 15 minutes away from game time.
I'm about to say the Bulls is the one that take the longest, but I don't know.
The Bulls will put that mug out 5 minutes before game time. It's like you could have saved that tweet.
Nah, for real. Like, we don't even need it no more.
Yeah,
I don't see nothing.
Let's cross our fingers that she will be available. Face orange, biting nails. That's hilarious.
No,
I'm a product, right? I taught the CPS. There's beauty in us. Like we know, we just
well. Whitney Young is probably top 5 in the city. Come on now. Everybody else ain't Whitney Young. Like, you know that.
Yeah.
Anita.
Yeah. But all right, Brody, we'll go ahead and get ready to wrap this up. C-Dub got to get ready to do the live call anyway. So you C-Dub will be live for the game. Steve, are you gonna be on there with them?
Yeah, I'm gonna be on there.
Yeah, I don't know if Big Kev will be there.
Yeah, they just announced that they just say questionable.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the tweet earlier from them. So Kennedy was at the tunnel with a mask on. Okay. All right.
He just got a hell of a cold.
Yeah. But all right, y'all make sure y'all stay tuned in. Hit that subscribe button, man. We are trying to get to 6,000 subscribers, about 425 away from that. So make sure you guys stay locked in and in tune with us. If you're watching this live and you're not subscribed, you're a freeloader. Stop freeloading. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys follow us at Chicago Sky Pod. You send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoSkyCentral@gmail.com. And then lastly, if you guys want to leave us a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, numbers to do so, 773-270-2799. With the number one spot for everything Chicago Sky related.
I just got the starting lineup.
See?
Rachel Banham, Lindsay Allen, Michaela Underwood, Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso.
So same starting lineup. So they're bringing Kennedy off the bench if she does play. Yeah, understandable. Either way, the Sky team needs